I hate America. Well, about 70% of it. That's because 70% of America are natural born haters. Here's a chart. Alright, but seriously though, 70% of US citizens are actually professional haters. And what social media apps do professional haters use the most? Twitter and Instagram. Twitter is just toxic trash, so let's talk about IG instead. An app where people try their hardest to flex on people they went to school with and people they don't even know. What else? It's damn near impossible to get followers or views. You see, Instagram is the perfect example of what's wrong with American social media apps. Gatekeeping and classism. American apps are all about separating the important people from the nobody bums. Their entire algorithm is built to push the beautiful, rich, famous people into the sunshine and hide all us broke, ugly people out of sight. It's a dry, boring, lame-ass app full of hating-ass wannabes and celebrities. So what about the other American apps? Facebook is basically a virus, and Snapchat is weird and inconvenient to use. I did as felt like an old man trying to figure out Snapchat. I hate Snapchat. And I think we all understand how difficult it is to build a following on YouTube and Twitch. So, what social media app can we use to actually be social on? You know? An app that allows you to reach out and share media and ideas with complete strangers. An app where you can enter random lives and chat rooms to discuss topics. What about that app that all the boomers united to get banned?
TikTok.
I said what?
TikTok.
Will you please stop saying that?
Easy to use? Okay. Easy to get views? Okay. What about the vibe? Is it real judgy like Instagram? Oh, people can just post whatever they want without judgment. So why are these old fart clouds trying to ban this godsend of an app?
Facebook paid how much to ban TikTok? Facebook paid a record-breaking $7.6 million to lobby Congress and the White House to ban TikTok. Facebook argued that TikTok should be banned for two main reasons. One, TikTok poses a national security risk, and two, because TikTok spreads misinformation. This national security risk argument isn't just weak, it's a smokescreen. The real reason TikTok is under fire is because it's an existential threat to Facebook and Instagram. But here's the thing. Instagram and Facebook can't adapt. They have a major Achilles heel, which we'll get to in a moment. TikTok is so addictive because TikTok's algorithm gives everyone organic reach. You're a small business, your content can go viral. You're a niche creator, TikTok will find the perfect audience for you. This is why TikTok has been a game changer for small businesses. It's not only helped struggling small businesses find an audience, it has also turned millions of everyday people into entrepreneurs. If Facebook were to recreate TikTok's algorithm and give people more visibility, they'd lose billions in advertising revenue. That's why Facebook is so desperate to ban TikTok.
The gist of it is this. Mark Zuckerberg was getting his ass whooped by TikTok. And he ran to the government. He's basically Drake. When you can't win the beef, turn into a Karen and take him to court. So Mark paid a Republican consulting firm to push a narrative that TikTok is a security threat because they trying to say our information is being leaked to China. You know, the information that they're constantly selling to China. The information that China most likely already have. Anyway, that resulted in the ban. The name of the bill they're using to justify the ban is Protecting Americans from Foreign Adversary Controlled Applications Act. So they're saying TikTok violates this somehow, but we still got Temu. So let's stop and think. Why would the Chinese government ever want the information of people with student loans and credit debt? The reason is to better market to those people and earn them good old American dollars, which our government desperately wants to avoid. But does that make any sense? Show of hands, how many people can relate to this? All right, when I was a kid, I had a lot of toys. Action figures, Hot Wheel cars, you name it. Whenever I flipped any of those toys over, it always said made in China on the back. Every time. So does it make sense to be worried about China having our information when all of our shit comes from China? No, I don't think it does. Wait. Don't the United States owe China some money? Okay, let's take a look. Off to the debt clock we go. Oh no, I know that don't say 287 billion, and the US is worried about China marketing to the American people? Bruh, if you flip over the United States, it's gonna say made in China on the back. What are we talking about? If China wants something, let them have it. Maybe it'll help pay off some of this debt. The US government is like that family member that borrow money from you, then develop fucking Alzheimer's when it's time to pay you back. Besides, is TikTok really more reckless with its users' data than American companies like Meta? I'll answer my own question. No, it's not. Allow me to remind you of the 2021 Facebook leak. In April 2021, Facebook experienced a data breach that exposed the personal information of over 533 million users. But that wasn't the only time. It happened again. 50 million users were affected by the Cambridge Analytica scandal. So as usual, America has been a bunch of hypocrites. Remember, only in America can you go to Walmart to shop and your phone will ask you how was shopping at Walmart after you leave. The American apps are arrogant about how it exploits our information. It throws it in our face. And now the government like, but we don't want those people to have your information. What's the difference to me? I imagine China will probably be less arrogant about it. Google will straight up tell you to your damn face it's watching you. In America, we get bullied by our apps. If you leave AutoZone and your phone vibrates saying, how was your trip to AutoZone? It's not because it cares. Your dumb ass probably like, aw, it was fine. But what it's really saying is, I caught you lacking, bitch. You forgot to turn your location off after you got out that Uber ride. I've been following you all day, nickel. I saw everything. I saw you try to shoot that paper ball in the trash can at work. Talking about Kobe, but you missed from a foot away. You thought no one was there? Google was there, bitch. TikTok just be chilling. No overbearing notifications, none of that. It literally just be chilling. In fact, I don't even know what a TikTok notification would look like. I've never gotten one. You have to click on the app. Unlike Instagram telling me every time somebody updates their damn story. So now I need to introduce you to the hero and the villain of this story. Introducing our protagonist, Shao Zi Chu, the CEO of TikTok. And introducing our antagonist, Tom Cotton from Arkansas. Now, a lot of you will see this as race politic, but to me it's simple. This is real nigga, and this is hating ass nigga. And at the end of the day, the same war we've been fighting all along. So let's take a look at what went down in court when our protagonist stood tall against the face of tyranny.
In the past several Congresses, this committee has heard from senior executives of other social media platforms about troubling and repeated instances where they put profits over people. Now, today we intend to bring more transparency to TikTok, which is controlled by its Beijing communist-based parent company, ByteDance. States use TikTok every month, including 2/3 of American teenagers. TikTok collects and compiles vast troves of valuable personal information to create an addictive algorithm that is able to predict with uncanny accuracy which videos will keep users scrolling, even if the content is harmful, inaccurate, or feeds destructive behavior or extremist beliefs. Now, the combination of TikTok's Beijing communist-based China ownership and its popularity exacerbates its danger to our country and to our privacy.
Thank you. Chair Rogers, Ranking Member Pallone, members of the committee, thank you for your time. I am Shao Chu, and I'm from Singapore. That's where I was born, that's where my parents. And after serving in Singapore's military, I moved to the UK to attend college, and then here to the US to attend business school. I actually met my wife here. By the way, she was just born a few miles away from here in Virginia. 2 years ago, I became the CEO of TikTok. Today, we have more than 1 billion monthly active users around the world, including over 150 million in the United States. Our app is a place where people can be creative and curious, and where close to 5 million American businesses, mostly small businesses, go to find new customers and to fuel their growth. Now, as TikTok has grown, we've tried to learn the lessons of companies that have come before us, especially when it comes to the safety of teenagers. We want TikTok to be a place where teenagers can come to learn, which is why we recently launched a feed that exclusively features educational videos about STEM. STEM videos already have over 116 billion views on TikTok. And I think TikTok is inspiring a new generation to discover a passion for math and science. Now, I would also like to talk about national security concerns that you have raised, that we take very, very seriously. Let me start by addressing a few misconceptions about ByteDance, of which we are a subsidiary. ByteDance is not owned or controlled by the Chinese government. It's a private company. 60% of the company is owned by global institutional investors, 20% is owned by the founder, and 20% owned by employees around the world. ByteDance has 5 board members, 3 of them are American. Now, TikTok itself is not available in mainland China. We're headquartered in Los Angeles and in Singapore.
Okay, so that pretty much sums it up. They don't have nothing to worry about. ByteDance is a private company with Americans on its board. And now I realize that TikTok is not just far superior to American apps for its algorithm, but it's also far superior for its data security. Now let's get to the villain. Brace yourself, this is going to be annoying.
TikTok under the influence of the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator, we are a private business.
Okay, so you can see that your parent, ByteDance, is subject to the 2017 National Security Law, which requires Chinese companies to turn over information to the Chinese government and conceal it from the rest of the world. You concede that, correct?
Senator, the Chinese
That's no
business,
question. You conceded it early.
any company that does, any global businesses that does business in China has to follow the local
Okay.
laws.
Isn't it the case that ByteDance also has an internal Chinese Communist Party committee?
Like I said, all businesses that operate in China have to follow their local laws.
So your parent company is subject to the national security law that requires it to answer to the party. It has its own internal Chinese Communist Party committee. You answer to that parent company, but you expect us to believe that you're not under the influence of the Chinese Communist Party?
I understand this concern, Senator, which is why we built
Okay, it was,
Project
it was a yes or no question. Okay. But you used to work for ByteDance, didn't you? You were the CFO for ByteDance?
That is correct, Senator.
In April 2021, while you were the CFO, the Chinese Communist Party's China Internet Investment Fund purchased a 1% stake in ByteDance's main Chinese subsidiary, the ByteDance Technology Company. In return for that so-called 1% golden share, the party took one of 3 board seats at that subsidiary company. That's correct, isn't it?
It's for the Chinese business.
Is that correct?
It's for the Chinese business, yes.
That deal was finalized on April 30th. 2021. Isn't it true that you were appointed the CEO of TikTok the very next day on May 1, 2021?
Well, it's a coincidence.
It's a coincidence that you were the CFO,
Senator,
that the Chinese Communist Party took its golden share in its board seat, and the very next day you were appointed the CEO of TikTok? That's a hell of a coincidence.
It really is, Senator.
Yeah, it is. Okay. And before ByteDance, you were at a Chinese company called Xiaomi, is that correct?
Yes, I used to work around the world.
Where did you live when you worked at Xiaomi?
I lived in China, like many expats.
Where exactly?
In Beijing, in China.
How many years did you live in Beijing?
Senator, I worked there for about 5 years.
So you lived there for 5 years?
Yes.
Isn't it the case that Xiaomi was sanctioned by the United States government in 2021 for being a communist Chinese military company?
I'm here to talk about TikTok. I think they then had a lawsuit and it was overturned. I can't remember the details. It's another company.
The Biden administration that reversed those sanctions, just like, by the way, they reversed the terrorist designation on the Houthis in Yemen. How's that working out for them? But it was sanctioned as a Chinese communist military company. So you said today, as you often say, that you live in Singapore. Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore. No, I did not.
Do you have a Singaporean passport?
Yes, and I served my military for two and a half years in Singapore.
Do you have any other passports from any other nations?
No, Senator.
Your wife is an American citizen. Your children are American citizens.
That's correct.
Have you ever applied for American citizenship?
Not yet.
Okay. Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
Let me ask you some hopefully simple questions. You said earlier, in response to a question, that what happened at Tiananmen Square in June of 1989 was a massive protest. Did anything else happen in Tiananmen Square?
Yes, I think it's well documented. There was a massacre.
There was an indiscriminate slaughter of hundreds or thousands of Chinese citizens. Do you agree with the Trump administration and the Biden administration that the Chinese government is committing genocide against the Uyghur people?
Senator, I've said this before. I think it's really important that anyone who cares about this topic or any topic can freely express themselves on TikTok.
It's a very simple question that unites both parties in our country and governments around the world. Is the Chinese government committing genocide against the Uyghur people?
Senator, anyone, including, you can come into TikTok and talk about this topic
I'm asking you,
or
yes
any
or no.
topic that
You are a
matters to you.
worldly, cosmopolitan, well-educated man who's expressed many opinions on many topics. Is the Chinese government committing genocide against the Uyghur people?
Actually, Senator, I talk mainly about my company, and I'm here to talk about what TikTok does.
Yes or no? You're here to give testimony that's truthful and honest and complete. Let me ask you this. Joe Biden last year said that Xi Jinping was a dictator. Do you agree with Joe Biden that Xi Jinping a dictator?
Senator, I'm not going to comment on any world leaders.
Why won't you answer these very simple questions?
Senator, it's not appropriate for me as a businessman to comment on world leaders.
Are you scared that you'll lose your job if you say anything negative about the Chinese Communist Party?
I disagree that. You will find content that is critical of China on our platform.
The next time you go on, are you scared that you'll be arrested and disappear the next time you go to mainland China?
Senator, you will find content that's critical of China and any other country freely on TikTok.
Okay. Let's turn to what TikTok, a tool of the Chinese Communist Party, is doing to America's youth. Does the name Mason Edens ring a bell?
Senator, you may have to give me more specifics if you don't mind.
Yeah, he was a 16-year-old Arkansan. After a breakup in 2022, he went on your platform and searched for things like inspirational quotes and positive affirmations. Instead, he was served up numerous videos glamorizing suicide until he killed himself by gun. What about the name Chase Nazca? Does that ring a bell?
Would you mind giving me more details, please?
He was a 16-year-old who saw more than 1,000 videos on your platform about violence and suicide until he took his own life by stepping in front of a plane or train. Are you aware that his parents, Dean and Michelle, are suing TikTok and ByteDance for pushing their son to take his own life?
Yes, I'm aware of that.
Okay. Finally, Mr. Chu, has the Federal Trade Commission sued TikTok during the Biden administration?
Senator, I cannot talk about whether there's any
Are you currently being sued by the Federal Trade Commission?
Senator, I cannot talk about any potential lawsuits.
I didn't say
whether they
potential,
happen or not.
actual. Are you being sued by the Federal Trade Commission?
Senator, I think I've given you my answer. I cannot talk about
it. No. Ms. Yacarino's company is being sued, I believe. Mr. Zuckerberg's company is being sued, I believe. Yet TikTok, the agent of the Chinese Communist Party, is not being sued by the Biden administration. Are you familiar with the name Christina Kafara?
You may have to give me more details.
Christina Kafara was a paid advisor to ByteDance, your communist-influenced parent company. She was then hired by the Biden FTC to advise on how to sue Mr. Zuckerberg's company.
Senator, ByteDance is a global company and not a Chinese Communist company. It's owned by global investors.
Public reports indicate that your lobbyist visited the White House more than 40 times in 2022. How many times did your company's lobbyist visit the White House last year?
I don't know that, Senator.
Are you aware that the Biden campaign and the Democratic National Committee is on your platform? They have TikTok accounts?
Senator, we encourage people to come on
Which,
to
by
create
the way,
organic, authentic content.
they won't let their staffers use their personal phones. They give them separate phones that they only use TikTok on.
We encourage everyone to join, including yourself, Senator.
So all these companies are being sued by the FTC. You're not. The FTC has a former paid advisor, your parent, talking about how they can sue Mr. Zuckerberg's company. Joe Biden's re-election campaign, the Democratic National Committee, is on your platform. Let me ask you, have you or anyone else at TikTok communicated with or coordinated with the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, or the Democratic National Committee to influence the flow of information on your platform?
We work with any creators who want to use our campaign. It's all the same process that we have.
So what we have here, we have a company that's a tool of the Chinese Communist Party that is poisoning the minds of America's children, in some cases driving them to suicide, and that at best the Biden administration is taking a pass on, at worst maybe in collaboration with. Thank you, Mr. Chu.
Okay, so you basically see what's going on here. So when the 270-day postponement was proposed, he was the only one that voted against it. So basically by the end of the hearing, he was literally the only one left who wanted TikTok banned. No, like literally. Currently, both Biden and Trump is willing to stop the ban. But this stupid asshole is determined to get TikTok banned. Tom got wedgies so hard when he was in school that it permanently altered his posture. That's how you end up like Tom. Tom the type of guy to drink straight black coffee with no sugar. Tom's the type of guy to use missionary position during sex. Tom's the type of guy to have not gotten no ass in the last 2 years. Tom's the type of guy to report somebody for jaywalking. Tom's the type of guy that'll go to church and ask to speak to the manager if he wasn't seated quick enough. Tom's the type of guy to object at a wedding. Tom's face make babies cry. Even his reflection don't want to see him. You gotta think, when Tom was a kid, he was probably the only one to actually bring the teacher an apple. Tom P sitting down, bro. Tom's the type to iron his socks. Tom's mom never loved him, bro. Tom's crow's feet got pedicures. Tom's school bully was probably a girl. Tom's head looked like a penis. I bet Tom's favorite wrestler was Hulk Hogan. Alright, I'm done. Look, I ain't gonna talk about this for much longer. The bottom line is, this was personal attack on my boy Chew. He used to work for Mark Zuckerberg as an intern at Facebook. Now he surpassed Mark. Mark can't come to terms with his fall off. So he got the Senate to completely disregard freedom of speech just because TikTok is a better app than the ones they own stocks in. And his plan backfired because Meta stocks have dropped drastically. People are so mad they're deleting their Meta app accounts, Facebook and IG. And you know what? That reminds me of something else that pisses me off about Meta. It's too damn difficult to delete your account. Is this a social media account or a contract with Satan? I remember when I tried to delete my Facebook account for the first time. So first of all, I had to Google how to even do it because I don't know how many people remember this, but about a decade ago, it literally was impossible to delete a Facebook account. You could only deactivate it. But I guess they got a lot of complaints and they added a delete option, which takes 30 days to actually delete. As far as I know, TikTok don't do that. When I deleted my first TikTok account, it was quick and easy. Anyway, the bottom line is people are deleting IG and Facebook as a form of protest, and it's working. And to make matters worse for Tom's hating ass, a lot of people migrated over to the Chinese version of TikTok called RedNote. So all that hating backfired.
The TikTok ban appears to be driving users to alternative Chinese applications. In fact, on Monday, RedNote, a Chinese social media app, became the #1 most downloaded app on the Apple App Store. It's time for Congress to acknowledge that the rushed passage of this law was a mistake. There were no hearings in the Senate. There were no witnesses in the Senate. No one got to hear anything about this ban because they put it into the bill that was going to provide military aid for Ukraine, for Israel, humanitarian aid. And they just stuck the TikTok ban into the legislation over in the House of Representatives to send it over here. We never had a hearing. We never had any consideration. And it's time for Congress to acknowledge that the rushed passage of this law was a mistake.
I want to make an underline, first off, in the record, because this is a notable day. Direct quotes from the senator from Massachusetts: listen to Donald Trump, and I agree with Donald Trump. Underline that in the record. I'm not sure you're going to see that again for the next 4 years. But more importantly, on this issue, the senator's correct that TikTok is not alone in causing harms for American kids. I agree with them. Other apps can result in eating disorders or depression or mental illness. I voted for his legislation in December. I have my own online safety legislation. The difference is that TikTok is influenced and controlled by the Chinese Communist Party. And this bill did not just address TikTok, it addressed all foreign adversary-owned apps. He raised the question of RedNote. Well, guess what? If TikTok users flood to RedNote, they're going to face the same challenge there because it's also controlled by the Communist Party. Second.
Look, here you go. Who do you think he is? The president is cool with it, bitch. You don't got the power? Shut up. But yeah, TikTok is a brilliant tool for marketing, and it helped a lot of streamers get their careers going. You know, since you're basically talking to a brick wall on these American apps, I don't think y'all know what it's like to be streaming and looking straight ahead while you just keep talking, scared to glance at that other screen because you know if you look at that other screen, you're going to see that your last viewer left like an hour ago and you've been talking to yourself for the past hour. And to anyone who's about to say, I don't use TikTok, it's just brain rot, they need to ban it. Listen, it doesn't matter what you use personally, nigga. The government shouldn't be able to just ban a legal company just because they don't like it. It's the fucking principle. And also understand this too. If you don't have a TikTok, then the only time you'll ever see anyone talking about TikTok is to point out the cringy brain rot stuff. That includes myself. I'm not going to make an entire YouTube video about the normal stuff, but I can give you a quick montage of what my For You page looks like on an average day.
I just ordered. Tell us who ordered so we can give you a shout out. Okay? So guys, hurry up because we have four literally guys. Oh my god, 4 or 5. I don't remember. How many?
Is this your dad?
No, obviously not.
Okay, then why are you talking to my dad and mom? Why?
Because I'm allowed to.
No, but is this your dad? Yeah? No? Yeah? No, it's my dad.
No, that is not an extinct dinosaur. They still exist. Meet the shoebill stork, also known as the B-Rex. Maybe it's a dinosaur. These oversized pelicans get up to 5 feet tall with an 8-foot wingspan. That's a big bird. And they're only found in the swamps of Africa, which sucks for the animals in the swamps of Africa. These bad boys are fully carnivorous, and there's a lot of food on their menu. That includes monkeys, eels, and even small crocodiles. But the best part is they swallow them whole. A bird swallowing crocodiles whole.
That boy Noah Crawford is different. Not joking, it's really sick. This age, this handle, I don't think I ever seen nothing like it. Dancing with the rock like a grown man. Matter of fact, better than majority of grown men. Putting together crazy combo. Come on now, look how vicious this snatch was. Boy, if you don't calm down. He is in the 6th grade doing these boys like this.
I'm so sorry. It was by accident. Sorry.
Jackson hangs in the pocket, caught inside the 10 to the 5. Got to get him to the line here. Got to do that. Isaiah Likely making the catch.
Yo, she just failed. Look at the face for innocent.
The food is good, right, bro?
Oh, it's good, but it's nothing like my mother's ham biscuit brickle-brackle and beans with fizzy wiggets. They used to make roasted ham squash with spittle spattle and a side of biscuit gravy. And we'd have that every...
Is Damani? Who's Damani? Oh. Thank y'all for the likes. Yes, tap that screen.
You get it. At the end of the day, it's just an app. It doesn't make people stupid. It just displays how stupid people already are. And that falls directly on the parents. But to end this video, I'll leave you one last clip.
The US can ban Red Note Xiaohongshu, but it could cause America to fall behind China. The US government's first response to any successful company that's even remotely Chinese has always been to ban it. For example, the BYD electric cars, Huawei phones, and now the TikTok app. At first, this worked. It cut off China from one of the biggest markets in the world, but China has 4 times the population of America, and they continue to innovate domestically until at one point, their technology started started to surpass American brands, caused by the fact that American companies weren't innovating at the Chinese pace because they weren't being pushed by the competition. Anyone who's ran a race knows that you tend to run faster against faster people. Some did realize this, like the CEO of Ford, the biggest American corporate, who drives a Chinese Xiaomi car in order to learn the competition. And now average American citizens like the TikTok refugees who are being forced to move to Red Note are finally realizing just how advanced their apps and algorithms have gotten. If America starts banning again, then American companies may never catch up to their new competition.
But yeah, America is going out like a bunch of weenies with this one. And Tom Cotton is the most slave ownery name I've ever heard. But that's all. Peace.